Thank you. We only have one item on our agenda this evening, and that is our planning board summary, and it is a very light summary. On our November 5th meeting, there were no formal agenda items. The planning board spent the evening reviewing a report on the Niagara Falls Boulevard zoning project, proposed revisions to the overlay district, and plans showing proposed modifications to zoning lines as part of that report. No action was taken. And again, at the November 19th meeting, there were no formal agenda items. The planning board actually spent that meeting generating a new procedure for posting of planning board agendas and meeting minute summaries to ensure quick posting of those onto the town's website. And there was no other action that evening as well. And that's all I have this evening.
Okay, thank you. Anything for Tim? Thank you,
How's
Tim.
how's the culvert going on Eric Road? Have they started that yet?
Eric, well, you've seen the culvert pipe sitting out there.
I saw the pipe there. I haven't.
It's ready to go. I know Site Services held off a little bit last week because of the snow and not knowing what was going to come up here, but I imagine within the next day or so they're going to be ready to get going. I don't know if they're going to try to get the pipe in and grout it before the holiday or not. My guess would be no. They might wait until the following week.
His plan is to actually be working on it tomorrow and maybe get it in tomorrow or Wednesday,
okay, weather
permitting. There is a question of how bad the weather could be.
Right. The Wilrose Court Flapgate project, that structure and riprap and pipe, everything with that project is in and done except for the flapgate itself. We're still waiting for that to get delivered, but that seems to be a quick option once it gets here because the bolts are ready. It just has to get lowered into place and bolted on. So.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Before we do motions, does anybody have a current score? 7-3. We're still ahead, guys. We're still ahead. Okay, we'll go on to motions, Tom.
All right,
if our power goes out, our cell phones will still tell us the score.
That's right.
First motion is to approve some budget transfers for the building department.
So moved. We have a motion by Gil.
I'll second.
Second by Randy. These are basically transfers within this existing year's budget to cover the cost of this software. Anybody have anything further on the question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is going to be a little bit different from that contained in the motion packet, but it's going to be that pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, the town board has conducted a thorough environmental review of the Cobblestone Creek subdivision and has determined that the project may have a significant, and I'll add the word, adverse impact upon the environment, and therefore issues the attached positive declaration that requires the preparation of an environmental impact statement, which will include conducting a public scoping session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Moved by Larry, second by Gil. We didn't have it up on the website, but we do have a copy of the positive declaration. So Mr. Auerbach, if
he does have it. I sent that to him. He got it.
Say if you want one, we can give it to you tonight. Anything further on this question, guys? The interesting thing is we had a very good meeting the other night with Wendell bringing us up to speed on seeker, and one of the things that Drew brought out is if there's any doubt in our mind as individuals, if there's any thought that there might be an impact, the thing to do is to take time and study it. And there have been several questions raised. We just got a long-winded letter today about some of the problems that are there, a compilation, if that's the right word for it, Joe. We haven't had time enough to review that. I don't think copies have even been made for the board members as yet. Yeah. They got, okay. And I think there is enough question in my mind, I can't speak for everybody, but I think there is enough question in my mind that we do need to take a further review. So unless somebody has anything further, I'll call for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Yeah, go ahead.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion is approved.
All right, and I think, that we may as well now do set a date for the public scoping session. And I'm not sure what the preference would be. My suggestion would be, my first choice, I think, would be December 3rd. If that didn't work, then December 10th would probably work. But if we could do it on the 3rd, I think that would probably be best.
December 10th should be a planning board. Is there anybody here from the planning board? No. It should be a planning board meeting. They'll probably want to at least participate.
Well, we've got to complete the review within, we've got to do the scoping document within 30 days. While we probably would have enough time on the 10th, the 3rd would be better, but it's really the preference of the board.
Gentlemen, can you be here on the 3rd? Anybody
Yes.
who can't be on the 3rd? Okay, then, does that require a motion, or does that just...
Why don't you do a motion and set the time?
Okay, I will move that we meet here on December 3rd, a public meeting at 7:30 in the evening for the purpose of a scoping of the seeker.
We do 7? No?
I can certainly do 7. Art?
7? Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, then I'll change my motion to 7. We need a second.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Anything further on the question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, December 3rd, that'll be a public scoping session. We'll be discussing the various different issues related to the need for the environmental impact statement.
Where will it be held?
Well, should be right here, I think.
Yeah, we,
We'll do it here.
yeah, I think it'll be open, so.
Don't know if the other room will be available, so we'll do it here because we know this will be available.
Next motion is, and the board members have a more comprehensive motion for this, and that is to choose the 2015 health insurance plans for non-union employees, basically setting the iDirect Silver as the base plan and offering 3 additional plans at the employee's option at also an additional cost, and that would be as per the attached schedule.
I'll go ahead and make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Anything on the question?
I think this is a good plan for the employees. I know last year, we just had the one plan, and it's free insurance, but, and we were paying the high deductible, but some of the employees exceeded the deductible, and it really impeded their wallet because it was costing them a lot of money. So, with that in mind, we still have the free plan, but we have 3 additional plans, I think our attorney mentioned, that will offer the employees to find something that fits their budget and medical needs. So I think it'll work out good.
Yeah, this is the first year that within the community rated plans, we've been able to offer multiple plans without any problem. We can just simply offer multiple plans within independent health, and that's what we're doing. We also have a decision on what we're doing with the senior program as well. Okay. We did not vote on that yet, correct?
Right.
Then all in favor of approving the insurance signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
The next one is to approve and designate Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's actually already covered.
Okay, it's already covered, so we've actually already done that. This is the one for retirees. We actually put it in the more comprehensive motion.
Shouldn't that be Medicare instead of Medicaid?
It should be, yes.
Only Walmart people.
Oh, sorry.
Medicaid.
Sorry.
You're right.
All right.
It's not a motion anyway.
You can tell Bob's not 65 yet,
Yeah. But
We're getting real
we're
close
pretty,
there,
yeah,
Brother
both
Larry.
of us.
or he would have known that.
All right. Next one is to approve firearms discharge permits for the individuals shown on the attached list.
So moved. Moved by Gil. Do we have a second?
Second.
I heard Randy first. Anything on the question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
The next motion is to make revisions to the health insurance benefits section of the town's personnel policy, and I'm not going to read it because it's actually on the motion sheet.
I'll go ahead and move. Do we have a second? So moved. Okay, second by Art. Anything on the question? All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? That is approved.
Next motion to approve the hiring of Kara Incorvia and Kelly Burkholder as lifeguards.
Somebody wish to make that motion?
So move.
Second. Moved by Larry, second by Gil. Anything on the question? Mike, are these the same folks as last year? One of them is. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? That's approved.
Next motion is to create a truck driver position in the water sewer department.
Does anybody wish to make that motion? So moved. Moved by Gil. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Randy. On the question? Go ahead. What labor grade will this be?
Labor or truck driver?
Just truck driver, not all equipment operator, right? Not an MEO.
Right.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anything further? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
And I think we still want to do the next motion, which would be to declare a laptop computer as surplus and authorize it to be scrapped per the town's policy.
I'll go ahead and make the motion with the note that it is per the town's policy.
I'll make the second on the question.
Go ahead.
I don't know, I thought I heard someone say that this laptop's maybe not 5 years old yet. And then if it's still if it's running Windows 7, if it's running XP, I would scrap it, but if it has Windows 7, a valid license for Windows 7, I would keep it for a while, because
Did any of the laptops have Windows 7?
someone said that this one was newer than some of the other ones.
I didn't hear that. Could be.
Well,
it's a simple look at it before you do it, I guess.
We can certainly hold off on the motion.
okay.
Yeah, it's not a
Then I'll withdraw my motion. Next, Bob?
Final motion is from bond counsel. It's a technical regulation or motion in connection with SEC compliance.
I'll go ahead and make that motion if you wish. Do we have a second?
I'll
Second.
Okay. Who'd you hear first, Gaff?
Larry.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
All right, a couple more motions. This one, next one is to approve a 2-year extension of the refuse and recycling contracts with Modern Disposal at a rate equal to the increase in the Consumer Price Index. And I did get email, actually the Modern sent me a revised extension agreement today that confirms that the town will still get the $30,000 guarantee for recycling materials.
Okay, very good. Does anybody wish to make that motion?
So move.
Okay, moved by Randy. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Larry. Anything on the question? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That's approved.
All right, final motion is again a technical one with respect to reporting to the SEC regarding a continuing disclosure initiative.
If you read the whole thing, you'll be here a lot more than 3 minutes, Bob, so we can't let you do that. Again, this is asking me to do something I can't move, guys. Does somebody want to make that motion?
So move.
Moved by Art. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Larry. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved.
That's it.
That's it for motions. Okay, board member items. Councilman Helwig, anything?
No, all my questions were answered. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Art?
We sort of touched on it this evening. I did contact the Fire Advisory Board, talked to Mark, and they are going to be in discussion, about what we talked about last meeting, so.
Okay.
We'll get more information. They have to get together.
Anything
And
else?
I don't know. Is Richard, are you here? No, Richard's not here for the comprehensive plan. And the Veterans Group, do you want to have a brief little something to say, Justin?
I know that we've got our 2015 goals already made up. That includes additional environmental and archaeological study on the site within the Fairmount Park zone to be considered and eventually developed for our Veterans Memorial Monument. And certainly we're going to continue looking at the cost estimates with regards to everything that is necessary for it in stages and phases of construction eventually. Those costs will be looked at next year and looked at very thoroughly to make sure that there's nothing lost. I know that some residents are really looking forward to what comes out of these ideas, and certainly the focus group looks at all of the people's opinions and welcome your input at our next Veterans Memorial meeting, where we'll go over more of those goals. It will be in January.
January 6th or 8th, yeah.
Yeah, 6:30, yeah. At 6:30 over at the community center.
Thank you, Justin. Is that it, Art?
Yes, sir, yes.
Randy?
January 8th, excuse me, January 8th.
Randy?
I'm all set, thank you.
Gil?
St. Johnsburg Fire Hall would like to add Bryce Sigmund as a junior firefighter. I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
Shawnee Volunteer Fire Company would like to add Rebecca Grismacher and Ryan Gahn also as active firemen, and I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Larry. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? That's approved.
I guess I just sort of got a couple questions, maybe Tim from Wendell, or I don't know who. What's going on with the River Road Trail? Is it something we're going to be able to start in the spring?
There's still funding issues with that.
Still grants, or?
Well,
Well, we got the-
didn't we meet with the county committee? Is that stalled, or?
Well, there's a couple of different grants. One, there is the grant for the scenic byways, what was it? I think a $2.1 million grant that we have had some difficulty in getting it processed with the Department of Transportation in Albany.
I thought we had enough to do half of it.
We've been awarded the grant, but we don't have the money and we don't have the signed contract yet.
have it in our
They have
hands,
not
yeah.
signed off on the contract as yet,
It's
so we can't spend any money.
It's been an unreasonably long period of time, but it's really the state's issue, not the town's.
And if we could get a report on our grants, we haven't had one in a long time, where we stand,
We'll
and the grants we applied for.
ask Bernie to come next meeting.
Okay?
That's it.
Okay. Very quickly, I don't know how many watched it, but last Thursday night, a young man from Marigold Drive, living right behind Adams Fire Hall, named Adam Glendenning, played his first NHL hockey game. On his second shift, 4 minutes into the game, he scored his first goal on his very first shot ever, so good for Adam. It's nice to hear that our local hockey programs are really pitching in, so I was pretty happy to hear that.
You coached him, right?
No, I did not. It's a long story, but no, I did not. If I had, he probably wouldn't be there. That's all I have. So, our next meeting is December 8th, 7:30 for a regular town meeting. We do have that December 3rd meeting now for a scoping session. And I don't believe there's any preliminaries for that. We will have a bond opening that evening. Excuse me, we will have a RFP opening that evening. So we'll go back to public input. Brian's still not here, so